Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Let me introducing by myself. My name is Bahari from political science. My topic is the Nazi regime. So today I'm gonna present about the Holocaust, right? So first of all, we have to understand what is the Holocaust. Holocaust was the kill of 6 million Jews by Nazi regimes, right? Holocaust is the criminal, it is the one of criminal crime of the Nazi regime. So, firstly, in January 1933, the Nazi dominated in German, and they believed that Germans were treated by Jews, and they thought that they were racially superior, right? So during the Holocaust period, other groups such as Slavic people, Polish, Russian, and Soviet personnel, and also black, were eliminated by German authority because of their perceived racial and biological infer, infer, inferiority. It means people with disability, or as well known Roma Japasis. Other groups were persecuted on political and also ideological. At the same time in 1933, there were over 9 million of the Jews population live in Europe. Most European Jews live in countries that Nazi Germany would occupy or influence during World War II. As a part of the final solution, European Jews were killed nearly 2 out of every 3 European Jews by Germans and their allies, and also their collaborator, right? Then the Nazi considered, or they think that Jews had been controlling economies, and it was post the death list threat to the German, right? Before long, after they come to control, the Nazis received the measure to avoid the Jews from German financial and also the social life. So, and they pursued them to immigrate. However, other groups inside Germany were oppressed for racial reasons as well, including Roma. By the end of the war, over 250,000 of Roma were eliminated by Nazi regime. In addition, between 1939 and 1945, they killed at least 250,000 mentally or physically crippled Britons. And then millions of people, since biologically inferior, were moderate and persecuted. While Nazi training was dominating across the Europe, they moderate 2 and 3 million Soviet prisoners of war with the starvation, disease, neglect, or brutal treatment. And the Nazi regime also forced the labor under the conditions that caused many to die. Moreover, homosexual and Germans who not follow the conform who not conform the social norms such as the beggars, right? They also had been the persecuted, and thousands of them delivered to the prison and concentration camps. Let's continue with the implementation of the final solution. So, as a Jew poses a threat to Germans, it provides Germany to gain opportunity to adopt more radical measures against the Jews under the pretext during Second World War. After the Poland was occupied, many of Jews' population were confined in ghettos, to which they also later deported thousands of Jews from the Third Reich. So the following in the invention of the Soviet Union in June 1941, Jews, Roma, and Soviet state, and also the Communist Party official were moderate with mass shooting as well as in especially gas vans. These cases are estimated to have climbed the list of more than 1.5 million Jews, many conducted by militarized battalions of the German Order Police. Then, in the late 1941, euthanasia program began. Euthanasia program is one of additional methods to kill Jews, such as the stationary gas chambers. Under the control of Nazi in Poland, there were nearly 3 million of Jews were deported between 1941 and 1944. The killing center of often called the extermination camps at Belzec and Sobibor, and also the Treblinka. So some of Jew deportees were temporary forces labor camp. Most of these laborers passes on from the starvation and illness, or some of them were moderate when they become weakness to work. The last but not least, I'm talking about the end of Holocaust and the end of Nazi. As Allied forces move across the Europe in the series of offensive against Germans, which is the strategic bombing, such as the aircraft attacking German's territory. In addition, the Allied destroyed entry city and in a night. In the first several months of 1945, Germany put up a defense, but rapidly lost territory. It's run out of supply. At the same time, camps personnel were moved. There were many personnel enrolled by forced march from one place to another among difficult situations. So regularly called the death marches. The marches still keep going until 7th of May 1945, and the day of German armed forces surrendered unconditionally to the Allies. For the Western Allies, World War II officially ended in the Europe on the next day, 8 of May. Okay, after World War II, the Germany lost their power and occupied by Allied. The Nazi Party it influenced from every aspect of German life. However, the party Sovietica flag quickly became a symbol of evil in the modern post-war culture. Although Hitler committed suicide before he could be brought to justice. A number of Nazi officials were convicted of war crime in the Nuremberg trial. So the holocaust was also ended in the after effect of this case. The Allies authority and the United Nations Refugee and Rehabilitation Administration in Germany, Austria, and Italy assist the 250,000 of survivors, that such as the providing the shelter in the displaced persons camp. Okay, that's it for me. Thank you. Assalamualaikum.